Central Park, Times Square, Grand Central Terminal, the Brooklyn Bridge, and who can forget Lady Liberty, all of New York's most notable and unmistakable landmarks. But nothing is more essential to New York's DNA than its food scene. Whether or not you're having a 4 a.m. late night pizza craving, or you want to get dolled up and dressed up to the nines to go and experience a Michelin star restaurant, New York City literally has it all. Everywhere you turn, there's no shortage of food anywhere. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Jen, and in my last video, I did a short teaser of my recent trip to New York City. Now, I wouldn't even begin to, or it's nearly impossible for me to cover just a simple snippet or a blip of New York City's iconic food scene. Put it this way, you can eat at every single restaurant for nearly 20 years and never end up at a single spot twice. And let's be clear on one thing, because I don't want to upset anybody. I'm not here to argue what's better or best. I'm simply here just to highlight and share with you some of our top favorite experiences in food and dining during our recent trip to New York City. When I had planned our food itinerary for this trip, I couldn't decide on just specific type of places or genres or foods to try. I couldn't narrow it down to just one simple thing because there's so many places to try and eat. But I did make sure that I set out to at least try or not leave the city without trying a New York City bagel and a New York City pizza. There were a couple of places that we tried for pizzas and bagels, but there were two that stood out to us the most. For pizza, it was Prince Street Pizza, and for bagels, it was Russ and Daughters. Now, I had known about this place long before our trip to New York because of Daniel, but it was named by CNBC's as one of the 9 best restaurants in America that you had to try in your lifetime. And Prince Street Pizza was just non-negotiable. I'm not really a big fan of the thick crust, but you can't go to Prince Street Pizza without trying their iconic pepperoni cup spicy spring. It's a little more of a thick crust, and the perception that I had of New York pizza was the thin crust, which was what we were expecting. And let me tell you, it did not disappoint. It was every bit crunchy, crispy, and that pepperoni cup was just perfectly spicy from first bite to last bite. So if you find yourself in East Village, you have to give this place a try. And then let me tell you, when we got there, we got in within 10 minutes time. And that's usually very rare because there's always a line. So if you show up, just plan that you could wait up to at least 1 hour, but trust me, it is worth every single minute's wait. Look, everybody's taste buds are very subjective, and there's gonna be debates on who has the best bagel in town. But this place being extremely iconic for slanging smoked fish for over 4 generations of family passing down along the line of business, you can't stop by without trying Russ and Daughters for a good bagel. And even though we were so full from having Prince Street Pizza just earlier in the day, we couldn't stop by without having to try at least one bagel from Russ and Daughters. Now for me, I really like the dense, tangy, and dark flavors of pumpernickel, so I had just that. I asked for the pumpernickel bagel to be toasted with just a light layer of schmear. Now, if savory is not your thing, or if you're not in the mood for a bagel, that's okay. They have plenty of sweet treats that are made in-house, like I actually got the cinnamon babka as a side or a dessert, and they had cookies, and they also have imported candies and dried fruits for your taste as well. Now, not only are their food affairs a sweet treat, but everyone in the shop, they're just extremely friendly and they're such a delight to talk to. So if you're unsure of where to go, Russ and Daughters would probably be a really good bet for a good bagel. I really wish I could share every single food and dining experience with you, but maybe we could save that for another day. My very last highlight has to be my most favorable and one of my most memorable experiences I've ever had in fine dining. Now, New York is one of the top 5 places in the entire world to hold the most number of Michelin star restaurants. Now, when you think of Michelin star restaurants, you think of a highly esteemed, fine dining, jacket required, suit and tie type of dining experience. Don't get me wrong, I like throwing on a pair of heels and a nice dress once in a while to get dressed up for a nice dinner, but this wasn't quite what I was looking for in a casual dining experience. I wanted something more casual, low-key, and just something to enjoy the evening while celebrating a special occasion. and that's when I discovered Momofuku-ko. If you've never heard of it before, Momofuku-ko is part of world-renowned chef David Chang's Momofuku restaurant group, and Momofuku-ko has held its 2 Michelin star rating since 2009. Tucked in Lower Manhattan's East Village alley, this place couldn't be more perfect. When you walk in, it has a very casual, lax, kind of dark, urban, unpretentious, relaxed feel. I don't know, call it luck, but maybe it was because we booked the reservation a week in advance, and we were also able to change our reservation within 48 hours of our actual dinner date. I have to tell you, make sure you call ahead of time and schedule reservation. And because we also noted in the reservation request that we were celebrating a special occasion, I opted to have the main course for the full prefix tasting menu. You can also sit in the bar, which they have the a la carte menu option as well. I won't go through the entire 12-course tasting menu. There's just too many to list off. I'm just gonna simply highlight which of the dishes that we really enjoyed and liked the best. And here they are. The Japanese sweet potato, a little more dense and less sweet than your regular potato. The potato was cooked low and slow for 12 hours to bring out the sugars, caramelization, giving it a sweet custard texture. Now the skin of the potato was used to fortify this dashi broth, which was made with potato, maitake mushroom, garlic, and onion. Momofuku-ko partnered with a store in Greenpoint, Brooklyn called Dashi Okume to make a custom blend just for them. Dashi Okume originated from Tokyo, Japan and has been in operation since 1871. That's over 150 years of mastering the art of dashi. Now we're topped with sea salt, pickled shallot, rice wine vinegar, and guajillo chilies. And to finish that off, it's topped with a yuba chip, which is the skin of soy milk that is fried, topped with togarashi, sumac, and paprika. This is such a warm and hearty dish to enjoy. The heirloom tomato tart, one of my favorites. It's tomato jam, side of mascarpone cheese with seasoned juniper and cardamom spices, a touch of salty and perfectly sweet. The foie gras tartlet. Let me just highlight the creativity behind this dish. You see that jelly there? That's Riesling infused jelly. This was like a little jello shot with a sprinkle of foie gras in every bite. So tasty. And next, it's the smoked roasted grilled duck. A 12-day dry-aged duck, smoked, roasted, grilled, and marinated overnight with a dark soy red wine vinegar, seasoned with fleur de sel drizzled with duck choux. This is served alongside smoked parsnips and a small portion of rice with duck jam, orange marmalade, and salted Jimmy Nardello's chili. Oh, and they even served the rest of the duck to us as well. Even though this was just half, boy was it a lot. Now, what really made this such a memorable experience for us was the thoughtfulness and attention to detail every member gave to our dining experience from first bite to last bite. Now, when we made the reservation, we had noted we were celebrating a special occasion, and we were seated, we were greeted with this. It was a little card, and then at the end of your meal, you're given a copy of actually the dining experience and what dishes were served. And on the very top, they left a special message for us, and that was super touching. And not only did we get dessert, but on top of that, the chef did an homage to the cream roll cake, and it was his version and his take on the cream roll cake, and with a candle on top. So if you're ever in the East Village neighborhood, give this place a try. It's kind of tucked away, but it's like a little hidden secret gem. In all honesty, everywhere you turn in New York City, there's something for everybody, even the most finicky eaters. From the 4 a.m. pizza craving to the finest of dining experiences. New York City is a melting pot of cultures, and it's a mecca of places for foods to try. Let me know in the comments if you've ever had any of the places that I've highlighted in this video. In the meantime, stay healthy, stay well, stay connected, be kind to one another, and I hope to see you guys in the next one.